Okay, here's your vacuum blower, just a cut view. Again, as far as it's lubricated right now. I checked lubrication in it. I think most of those blowers, those gear cases and everything we have up there, don't hold me to this. Read in the manual yourself. But most of them have like either 250 or 500 working hours that the oil should be changed initially.
Now those oil on both ends.
There's oil on
The one
that
I
pump.
have up
On
there,
that pump,
oil
I think
on
there's
both
only.
ends.
You might be right. I was thinking it was only on one end.
Yeah,
But
existing
it
old
should
one
probably-
was oil on both.
Yeah, okay, this one probably has it on there too. I know I pulled the plug out and it had oil in it. So I'm not sure how that thing's made on the inside, if it goes through to both ends. I'll look at it we'll look at it when we go up there and we'll see. That's a good point you brought up there. But again, 500 running hours is, you run it 20 minutes
Yeah.
and you're off for whatever. I guess my question, does 20 minutes empty that hopper out completely, or do you want to leave some
Depends
ash
on
in
how
that
they
hopper?
run it. Yeah,
Okay.
usually it empties it out. Depends how it's sucking.
Okay, but you don't have, what I'm worried about more is running that thing for like, in 10 minutes it empties that incinerator out, and now it's running for 10 minutes when it's not actually conveying ash or
They're
doing
probably
anything.
going to do that, yeah.
Yeah, I figure it probably will. So again, that'll be some times that y'all will have to adjust if you want to or not. But if you're running just air through there, you're just kind of wasting the. You're wearing the system out quicker than it should be. Okay, this is the pre-startup of the equipment. These are all the things that I was here and checked out. I checked the lubrication levels in there. I checked the drive belt, drive chain and alignment and tension on the unloader, rotation, all three of those items, which is the vacuum blower, the unloader, and the fluidized blower, and actually there's four, and the rotary vane feeder. All of those rotate in the clockwise position. The guards are in place. Control interlocks is what David, with whatever company he works for, does. We did not supply these control interlocks. They have been checked out. The system, as soon as we finish up here and do our walkthrough, I'm going to go over there with David, and we're actually going to run the system and make sure all these interlocks are there, which means if the blower's running and you were to go down there and close both of the isolation gates, the blower does shut off. We found that out yesterday.
So there is a vacuum relief or a vacuum cutoff.
It's actually a signal from the limit switches saying that I don't have an open isolation gate. It's not doing it off the vacuum. It's doing it off of, okay, somebody closed the gate and I've got nowhere to pull from, so I'm going to shut the vacuum pump
Is
down.
there a vacuum breaker itself on the blower so that if something
Yes,
does
there
fail,
is.
it
There
doesn't
is. Yes,
continually-
there is. They had it installed backwards. They're supposed to be installing it correctly today, and we'll check that when we go up there and look at it. Operational adjustments, that'll be done once the equipment is actually started up. The bag filter jet and cycle cleaning timers, they're set in that box. It should not have to be adjusted. The ash conditioner, your water flow ratio, again, is going to have to be adjusted either with those pumps or the hand valves or the rotary vane feeder adjusting the ash to the water flow.
I mean, we've always throttled our gate.
Above it.
The consistency of the ash changes dramatically.
Yes, and that's,
We, a lot of times, even with the rotary valve running at minimum speed, even though he did have an older rotary valve,
yes,
we've got what we call ash attach, where it just flows.
where it flows around there. The real fine stuff flows around there, and that's
And it
where,
overwhelms the system.
yeah,
so-
and that tells me that the shoes were just probably completely gone in that thing.
Yeah.
That there was enough feet around that you couldn't even adjust it back. If you start getting that on this one, then adjust those shoes. Okay, that's
Yeah, because there were no shoes on that. I mean,
Right,
it's
there wasn't
obviously
any shoes.
internal.
Okay, and this, the maintenance of the equipment, the lubrication and adjustments, again, are in the service manual. as to how often that has to be done. And that's basically the end of the PowerPoint thing, unless you have any questions. And if you don't have any questions, then we're going to get set up to go outside and just do a quick walkthrough, starting in the basement. Just basically pointing out where all of the new stuff is. I don't know if it's where it was before, so we'll point out where it's there, then walk up to the unloading floor and finish up in the receiving room floor.